Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome, and Happy New Year, and welcome to the first episode of the CEB Show, Christian Elliott Bacigaluppi Show. So first off, Happy New Year, like I said. I'm going to try to no longer do personal stuff on here unless it applies to something topical. If the episode is just me venting or commentating or whatnot, which is not news, which is why I don't do it on Back to Brag News, or won't do it, which we will be getting heavy into making stories, or not making stories. Yes, we'll be. I'm not like the regular news that makes up stories. But yeah, reporting stories at least. Reporting news and facts, hopefully. So yeah, I'll be doing more personal stuff, kind of like a journal on my personal competition, I guess, page called Christian Ninja Warrior, because I'd like to be on American Ninja Warrior. And my name is Christian, and there's like a little double meaning there, because I am a Christian. And if you're like, well, yeah, you do this. Well, no Christian is perfect. Like, Jesus isn't freaking for perfect people. He's for imperfect people, which is everybody. Enjoying my Son of Blitzen drink while I still can from Sheetz. All three of their drinks are great. And if you go back to Brag Home, you'll see that I reviewed all three of those. Though one of those, I think the Son of Blitzen one, may have never gone up for some reason. I gotta double check that. Anywho, we're a week into 2021, and holy crap. Actually, I think people are overdoing it. Like, I can't think of any other, there were some other ones, for any other, events, we'll call them, or incidents, that people are like, oh, 2021, it's terrible. It's just been a little crazy so far. And the people making I don't think the Capitol building thing was a big deal, but I think it's being blown out of proportion. I know why it's being blown out of proportion, because the Democrats are still making plays to try to shut down the Republican Party, which is the whole two-party system, which I've said tons of times before, is just a terrible thing, because now it's become a war between the two parties, and independents. Really, it's I saw a drawing of a football field, and I can't say who did it. They drew a football field with end zones, and then like a block behind both end zones. And if it was, you take the football field, and both ends are, both parties at each end is one of the political parties. And those blocks outside he made of the football field are the extremists. Everyone else is somewhere in the middle. And those are the people, mostly, being used as hostages, fodder, they're just political pawns. And collateral damage to this little battle between these two parties. Which is why we need to stop voting for Republican and Democrat. And Republicans and Democrats don't like that. Don't run as Republican or Democrat. Both parties, especially one of them, I have one in mind, you might have the other one in mind, are doing some low, dirty-ish, way more than the other one. But, like, I'll probably reveal who I think that party is. And I'm independent. Like, I want to... Like, there was a time where I was like, I want to vote. I want to be able to consider this other party. Not just this, one of the big two parties, or independent third party. But, or it's not even that. It's like, it has gotten to the point to where it's like, oh God, I don't want that. So who's got the best chance of beating that? Which really goes against my own belief of not voting for who you want to win is a waste of vote. But really, there shouldn't be a candidate so bad that it's like, oh God, anyone but him or her. But his last presidential election, it was just him or him. Why am I getting congested? 1 second. Maybe I need another drink. Maybe it's the drink making me congested. Who knows? Anyway. So the Capitol building thing, I still need to research that. And people, of course, the second it happens, are like, oh, this, oh, that, oh, what Trump said incited riots. Well, I listened to maybe not the whole speech, but I didn't hear anything that incited violence. I do need to go find the speech and listen to the whole thing. And still, like I said, I need to research it. But I didn't hear anything in any clips of what he said to incite violence. And the left and their media hasn't played that clip of what he said to incite violence. And of course they're like, oh, we're not going to play it. That'll incite violence. When it really feels like it's not, that's not why they're not playing it. It's, they don't want to play it because there's nothing he said in that speech that incited violence. Now, you could say, oh, all this talk he had about the election being stolen. Alright, that'd be one thing if there wasn't anything put out there for people to see that made him go, Like, you have the voting stopping. Like, oh yeah, we're done for the night. We're gonna finish later. It's like, the hell? Then you have videos, them putting up boards, to keep people from watching the vote counting. And the excuse was, oh, because someone's filming it. Why is that bad? If you're allowing the general public to watch it, what's wrong with filming it? And then you have another video of vote watchers being sent out of a vote counting room, and then the person pulls out these, I'll get to something, these containers of votes from under this table, which, there's another video of that table being rolled in before the beginning of the day. And the only explanation for that I've heard is, oh, they weren't briefcases. Because the initial report was, oh, they pulled briefcases full of votes out of these, out from under this table. Like, oh, they weren't briefcases. So that's your defense. Semantics. Okay. But my point is, there's all these things that I haven't heard an explanation to why they're not evidence of something shady, or why they shouldn't be considered evidence of something shady going on. I mean, I think that stuff is more pissing people off and would lead to what happened at the Capitol building if something, I'll tell you that conspiracy in a minute, which I'm sure some of you already heard. I think that kind of thing led to the Capitol building more than anything I've heard Trump say. So that conspiracy is that, and you can see videos where people are like, no Antifa, that there were Antifa agent provocateurs who started this mess. And apparently, freaking the guy in the moose costume or whatever, buffalo costume, was at Antifa riots back in the summer. The thing with that, though, is, was he there for Antifa, or was he counter-protesting Antifa? Most Antifa, you know, they're wearing masks and stuff, and he was wearing, you know, like a buffalo headdress and paint, which isn't the best way to hide your identity, except for maybe you live in DC Comics land, where a pair of sunglasses is enough to make people like, I don't know, that's Superman. And yeah, this is going to go until I run out of things to say, or I run out of space on this camera phone, on my phone, which could be at any time. Yeah, so now I could go with more examples of possible evidence that we'll call them exhibits of possible voter fraud that still haven't been explained away. They just say, oh, there's no evidence. What about all this? There's no evidence. That'd be like going to court. The prosecutor's like, well, this, and this, Exhibit A, and blah, 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 this is why, and Exhibit B, blah, 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 Exhibit C. And the defense is like, yeah, there's no evidence. That's not evidence. No, it's judge. There's no evidence. And the jury's like, well, he said it's not evidence, so innocent. So now there's a whole, people want repercussions on Trump. Well, if there's repercussions for inciting violence, Maxine Waters, Hillary Clinton, the two at the top just pop in my head, they've said things that incite violence, or could have incited violence, and there has been violence on Trump supporters and Republicans. So if we're just gonna say, oh, this happened, let's blame Trump, well, anything that's happened to Republicans or Trump supporters in the last 5 years, blame on Maxine Waters and Hillary Clinton and I can't remember his name. I gotta find the clip. Dang it, it's not COVID. I gotta find the clip of there was a clip I saw the other day of just these people saying things, talking about, yeah, you gotta go low on these guys, you can't be civil with these people. They're talking about Republicans. You gotta step on their necks. You see them here or there, you gotta harass them. Like, and these are the same people who are like, yeah, Trump incited violence, he needs to be impeached and face consequences. Oh my God. Like, one person I heard, not a politician, was like, I hope